Welcome back to SourceFed, I'm Steve Zaragoza. So Chipotle isn't having the best time right now. In case you didn't know, the past 6 months, the fast food burrito place has been serving up all kinds of gross illnesses to the unsuspecting masses. Now, does that cost an extra $1.88 like their guacamoles? We've reported on certain incidences here on SourceFed, but just to quickly recap, back in August, there was a norovirus outbreak in California that made 93 people sick. There was a salmonella outbreak at a Chipotle in Minneapolis, which affected 64 people. An E. coli outbreak in Kansas, North Dakota, and Oklahoma that sickened another 5 people, and another norovirus outbreak in Massachusetts that affected 120 people.
Oops.
It's gotten so bad now that the feds are getting involved, as in a federal criminal investigation into potentially why this is happening. A grand jury subpoena was issued to the chain tied to the California outbreak last year. According to reports, Chipotle must produce, quote, a broad range of documents related to the Chipotle restaurant that experienced the norovirus incident, and the company says they plan on fully cooperating during the investigation. So what does this mean for the restaurant chain? Well, kind of a lot. First of all, their stock has plummeted to $444 from their $749 back in August. And you know, there's that whole free market thing where because of the literally hundreds of people who have gotten sick from Chipotle, there's the possibility that they'll be kind of phased out. People will just stop going. But I mean, come on, man. Chipotle is like really, really good. And without getting into specifics, lots of fast food chains report issues with customers getting sick all the time. But let's not confuse food poisoning where you puke a couple times, then you're better the next day, to like E. coli and norovirus outbreaks. Time will tell on this one, kids. We'll see what happens. In politics, Jeb Bush is jumping on the racism train, likely because it's working so well for Trump right now, by saying publicly that Mexicans are to blame for his daughter's drug addiction, specifically Mexican drug cartels for the country's massive drug problem, which has also affected his family. Now, it's obviously no secret that drug trafficking is a thing, and Mexican drug cartels are a major part of that. But many say that it's America's war on drugs that directly fuels the Mexican drug cartels. Making drugs illegal creates a demand for them, and that creates an underground market. Now, a large part of the war on drugs, other than attempting to crack down on distributors and producers, has the government cracking down on users in a way that seems almost counterproductive by throwing them in jails and finding them and all that good stuff. But we can't exactly make heroin legal, right? But we can boost education on what these drugs do to people, how they ruin lives, and attack the war on drugs that way. Jeb says the problem is exacerbated by huge increases in the availability of cheap, highly potent heroin, primarily the result of Mexican drug cartels getting involved in the production, trafficking, and distribution of heroin and other illicit drugs. And he's not wrong, but blaming specifically Mexican drug cartels for his daughter's drug addiction is kind of like blaming McDonald's alone for making people fat. Now, there's a bigger issue here, and making grandiose statements like that for the press to broadcast on an endless loop kind of worked because I'm reporting on it right now on SourceFed. But I think it's more important for us to all realize that when a statement like that is made, there's more to it than just the shock value. And there's a problem with drug cartels in the US, but instead of pointing fingers and blaming one group, maybe we should try and take the time to, I don't know, maybe look at ourselves and educate everyone on the real problem, which is addiction. So guys, what do you think about the stories today? Does this Chipotle stuff make you want to go out and eat a burrito? And what are your thoughts on Jeb Bush's grandiose statements? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm Steve Zaragoza. Hey, you thought the video was over, but guess what? It's not. I'm here to say that Nuclear Family sketches are live now. 2 new sketches for you guys because, hey, you waited so long for the channel, we decided to put up 2 sketches for you guys. After this week, the normal posting schedule for sketches will be 1 a week. It's gonna be awesome. Subscribe, like, share the videos with your friends, and check them out.
I've never done it before. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. You know what? I got over 100 negative comments.